Hello, Divine Beings. Today is day 9 of homeschooling, and it's been a really good couple of days, I have to say, in regards to the subjects and just the enthusiasm and curiosity that my daughter has displayed with the learning plan that I set up for this week. She's very excited about her first equine ed tomorrow, where she gets to meet this horse that she's going to ride and get to know over the course of the rest of the year. So that's exciting. I set up a lot of videos for her to watch about the horse, like learning about the terminology, learning about the body parts. But now she's just like, I just want to do it like in practice, which I think is really good. So I find that the learning plan we have, it's probably 80% theory and things that she's watching, and then 20% is sort of like field excursions or activities where we get to experience it hands-on. But the last couple of days she's been cooking some dinners. She's really into the needlework, so that's a good little practice. We found a different online maths program, more Australian-based rather than American. So rather than talking pennies and dimes, talking to Australian currency. But, you know, we're just sort of working with what she knows and then taking it from there, because she's not at her grade level that she should be. But I've let go of all this should and how it is meant to be. And I've realised that you've got to meet your child where they're at. And so setting her up where her level of expertise is the best way to begin, and then we develop it and it starts to organically grow and develop over time. But yeah, I'm just really happy with having her here. Like I actually enjoy her company, because working for the company that I'm at, it's remote, so I do work from home 90% of the time. So it's nice to have company. Sometimes she'll sit on the bed and she'll just put her iPad on and watch the videos and take notes. She had her cat next to her today. Then we had the bunny. So it's just, it's really lovely to just watch her more relaxed and not feeling forced to learn. That's what I found when she was in the high school setting. Everything was like, why do we have to do that? What's the point of all this? And she's like a little Neo. I couldn't even answer it myself half the time, because I knew it was going to be irrelevant anyway. So it's interesting when you have an awakened child who's already consciously aware of the BS and the whole social system. And I honestly feel that she's here to break free from that and do something alternative. So I'm really proud of what she's achieved so far. With Egypt, she's loving the deep dive. She learnt about ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, learnt about the Greek gods and goddesses. And so what I do on a Friday night, I go into the internet and I look at YouTube clips, and I look at Behind the News. That's an Australian ABC production. So I look at little clips, because I find that you can't watch a 50-minute, like a 14-year-old's not going to do, or 13-year-old's not going to do that. So I look at the attention span and if there's a quiz afterward, because I like to make sure that she's got something out of the learning experience. And so that's what the learning plan looks like. It goes in flow. And even tonight she'll probably do some keyboard. So it's not like a 9 to 3:30. It'll be like a 10 to 2, but then the evening, if she wants to, she might do a bit of needlework, or she might continue to go and play the keyboard. So it's not as structured. It's very organic. It's very in flow. And I'm not like pointing the finger saying you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm just nodding to that. And it was really good to listen to Dr. Shefali's new podcast, Parenting Anew, where the question was, where is my fantasy child? And there was a few mums that one was wanting her son to excel and do more. And Dr. Shefali pretty much said to her, you're trying to make sure your son doesn't miss out on what you couldn't achieve. So he's not a mini you. Let him decide if he feels that maths, the level that he's doing, is too much, then let him go down that level so he can excel at the lower grade rather than forcing him to do it just to appease you. And the other mum was in that dilemma of she's concerned about the food that she's feeding her child, and she pretty much said to her, well, you're enabling that behavior when you put in your shopping trolley that particular food. You're enabling the addictive behavior of your son wanting to eat those chips or wanting to eat that sugar food. So it's interesting because I've been on the journey of conscious parenting for a few years. I don't even have that fantasy that my daughter had to finish high school, or I just have come to the conclusion that this is her way of being. And interestingly enough, she hasn't even asked about her high school friends, which I thought was quite interesting because I thought she would miss them. But because she's got new things to focus on, her state of value of where they sit has lowered, and she's actually comfortable in her own company. And I think she does not miss that environment. It's being in high school these days, it's tough. Like, it's a lot of pressure. I look at my son and he's just constantly surrounded by books, and he's doing the hard yards. He's in year 12, and they're just pushing them to the max. And I'm glad I could save her from that, because I knew that she would not cope with that pressure of having to do that much. So I feel very glad that we're coming now on the 2-week mark. I don't miss the high school. I love not having to wash uniforms. I love that we can just get up and not feel rushed out the door, or not see her sad face in the car just thinking, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, and not having to pick her up and she's just like it had a slump of a day. I don't miss that. So it's really good. I feel good energetically. She feels good energetically, and I can just feel the shift. And I feel that now that I'm sort of managing her lessons, I'm starting to realize there's a lot of similarity. When she loves a topic, she's like me. She does a deep dive research. And so what's been on her mind is obviously the horse, and she's just like getting really motivated by that. And she's not really like resisting a lot. She's like, oh yeah, I'll do it later after I eat. And we just played backyard bat tennis. So it's really nice when you have a style of job where you can have that flexibility to be with the family, but also come back to the desk and do what you need to do. So I'm glad I'm on my 2-year work anniversary. I feel like the universe lined this up. This was destiny. I don't believe that everything is just an accident or you're just lucky. I feel now that this was meant to be, not only for me, but for her, that I could do this for her. Because if I worked 9 to 5 in an office like my husband does, there's no way he could do it. So I'm very grateful, very appreciative that I have a lifestyle of a beautiful balance of work and family. I actually feel like my work is a lifestyle. It's not even like hard work as such. And so, yeah, I'm just at a very peaceful place today, and it's kind of cool. It's a really nice position to be in, where you can just reflect and look back and go, yeah, what I did, I don't regret it. It's 100% was meant to be this way. So day 9, going really good. She's done a lot of research. She's continuing her notes. We're still reading the book, even though she's like, I still don't get it. But I'm just like, stay with it. It's going to get better. But yeah, it's lovely to see her moving around the room, moving around the house, and enjoying to learn. that's my message for today. Bye for now.